Yes, people, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get straight into it. Now, before we get into all the stuff, reacting to everything about Arsenal, let's get into some of the transfer news and talk about some of the Arsenal transfer news. Now, shout out to everyone in the comment section. Big up to all you guys. If you guys haven't already done so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button while you guys are here, and it helps out the channel massively. You guys don't understand how much it helps out the channel, so please do hit that like button, please do hit that subscribe button, and let's just look at some of the stuff before we go into the stuff about Harry Kane, because I know some of you guys are saying Arsenal need to sign a striker, but surely we don't believe that Arsenal will sign Harry Kane, do we? Probably not. But yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, shout out to the 30 people in the chat. Let's go through some of these stories. So first, we got William Saliba to Real Madrid. We've already spoken about this with Sam. I don't think Real Madrid are going to get William Saliba this summer. Also, William Saliba has a contract until 2028. We actually have a 1-year option to trigger an additional season. So we could, with Saliba having 2 years remaining on his current deal, he still has a third year, which is Arsenal's option to trigger an option to push it to a third year. So Arsenal technically have 3 years remaining with William Saliba after this year, and we don't have to sell. We're in a strong negotiation point. We don't have to sell. Even if they throw 80, 100 million at us, we don't have to say yes to anything. And Arsenal are going to try to make sure they don't lose William Saliba by any means necessary. Now, there is also stuff about Arsenal are in Dubai. They're training to regenerate, to check out new set pieces like they did last year, and just overall try to get the players recovered. You can see Ethan, Mazuskeli went. You can see Almunia is there, and I don't know why he's there. This guy's terrible, bro. We need to keep him away from the Arsenal boys. We got the fullbacks. Ben White is ready back with the club, but looks like he's actually going to be headed back to England as he doesn't want to injure himself further, right? We also seen the boys in Dubai just already training, getting ready to go. We have 10 days until we play the next game. So of course, get these guys some warm weather training, get them to Dubai like we did before with the team before. And Arteta views this downtime as a time for the team to bond, essential for recovery, the squad. And it's just every night they're gonna have dinner with the players, sit in different tables, and allow them to get to know each other a little bit better. Overall, Calafiori's there. Obviously, we know the young goalkeepers are there. You even have academy kids there like Max Darwin, Declan Rice, of course, is there. You guys already know Timber. All these guys are there, just doing their thing. Now, we did get news about Gabriel Martinelli has a hamstring injury, and it's not good news, guys. Gabriel Martinelli's hamstring injury, he's going to be out for a month minimum. So that is sad news right there. But he also joined the team with his family members, so he's out in Dubai. Hopefully, getting himself sorted for the new season. Getting himself sorted so he can get back as quick as possible. Arsenal have released a special baseball shirt for 2026, 2025, 2026 season. So the Arsenal shirt will have buttons, and it'll be like a baseball shirt type thing. I don't know, utter woke nonsense, as some of you guys would say, because why would they switch it up? I don't know. Let's see how it turns out, because I'm not really a fan of changing the traditional shirts and how they look and everything else. And then what else is there? There's some news about Cunha. Arsenal did not go in for Cunha because they wanted to save their money and sign a proper number 9 in the summer. Interesting, Cunha was there, but never something they were prepared to do in the January window. So that is the news on Matheus Cunha. Let's see what else I can find for you guys while we're here. Shout out to everyone in the comment section though already. Big up to all you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Arsenal and everything around Arsenal at this moment in time, because there is a lot of misinformation, a lot of people just getting angry about things. And I understand some frustration, but I think a little bit of it is over the top. I do think some of the frustration and anger that people are showing, like the other day when we were talking about Yardman yelling and screaming, I think it's a little bit over the top. And I think it's a little bit like just too much. What we're doing, what are we doing here? Like when it comes to Arsenal and just the state that we're in right now, do we really need to be sitting on the streams and going yelling and screaming like this? Do we really need to be yelling and
I'm
striving?
sick.
What are you sick about? You're sick about not winning the last 2 seasons where we were really close, and Arteta was the reason why we're even in that position.
Arteta, I'm sick of seeing your Lego head.
First of all, making fun of Arteta's hair is not an insult. The guy has good hair. I'm not going to make fun of my man's hair because I don't have that much hair myself, but I just find it weird when people make fun of people's aesthetics. It's very strange.
You're tough. Your head's sick.
Honestly, to this day, I don't understand what's the point of going on a stream, yelling and screaming about wanting the manager sacked to this level. You would think we were in a relegation battle. You would think we were finished. You would think we were terrible. This makes us as a fan base look crazy. And people say I'm embarrassing for backing the team and being positive. I think Yardman, I've spoken to him before. Genuinely, I don't think this is the right approach to get your message across. I'm not going to call you embarrassing. I'm not going to make fun of you personally. I don't know you to do that. But I don't think this is the right way to get your message across because you come off looking a little bit like you just come off looking like you're not getting your point across and you just are a deranged, angry person for no reason. And if you say, oh, getting knocked out of the FA Cup and the League Cup is the reason why you're this mad, we could still go on to win the league, even though we lost the League Cup and FA Cup. And this is the same Yardman. This is the same Yardman who earlier in the season, if I'm not mistaken, you were saying some mad stuff about Liverpool. So because you got it wrong with Liverpool, you're now so angry where you're taking it to this approach. I swear I seen a video the other day where you were speaking about Liverpool and saying that you thought Liverpool were not going to challenge. Yeah, look at this. This is the same Yardman saying he said this 3 months ago. 3 months ago, Yardman said this. Guys got to get exposed because they're chatting shit. 3 months ago, the same Yardman who's saying Arteta out, his dick in the head, is the one who said Liverpool won't challenge for the Premier League. 3 months later, he's losing his head because of Arteta. Bro, what are you doing? You're the same man who sat here on AFTV and sat there and said, we've seen how our team played with Bukayo Saka just coming back from thing. I can't play it because AFTV will demonetize the video. But he's the same guy who did this on AFTV 3 months ago, is coming out here yelling and screaming like a madman. It don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense. And you can't be sitting here saying Liverpool are not going to win the league and going crazy and saying, oh, I think we're so much better than them. Liverpool are not going to win the league, to now saying Arteta has to go, losing your head. You got the Liverpool thing wrong, but I think it is related to Arsenal because he got it so wrong with Liverpool, he's blaming Arteta. He's blaming Arteta and saying Arteta's the reason, ignoring all the context. All the context is being ignored. And the context in this season, the context around Arsenal's injuries is a madness. Arsenal this season, the injuries that we've had, the amount of players we've had due to injuries, suspension, red card, whatever it is, it has been ridiculous. And I'm just going to show you guys because I don't think a lot of you guys realize how bad Arsenal's situation has been. Maybe your rivals, maybe you're Arsenal fan yourself. The level of absences that we've had this season is a lot higher than we've had the last 2 years. And for us to still be even challenging shows that our squad has improved to a certain level. Look at this. I'm not even going to go to the goalkeepers, right? Because Neto barely played. Look at this. You've had Calafiori miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. You had Zinchenko miss another 7 games. You had Kieran Tierney miss a bunch of games to start the season. Miles Lewis-Skelly missed 3 games. You had Ben White, who's been injured for months now. You have Tomiyasu. Have we even seen Tomiyasu or heard from Tomiyasu? Timbers missed 3 games. You have Partey's missed a game. Moreno missed a bunch of games. You got Odegaard missing a big chunk of the season. You got Bukayo Saka, who's currently injured. In between that, you have Ethan injured. You've had Raheem Sterling miss games. You've had Havertz miss 2 games. You've had Jesus miss games, and now we have Martinelli injured. The only player who has not missed a single game this season for Arsenal is one, Leandro Trossard. If you look at this, you have Gabriel Magalhaes missed games, Saliba missed games. Every single Arsenal player this season has missed a big chunk of the season or a couple of games here and there, where we have not had the same luck as some other teams. I'm just gonna say that. Keep it real. How many teams would be even still competing with the same level of players missing? How many? How many? And before you guys say, oh well, Liverpool have injuries also. I'm not discrediting Liverpool. I do think Liverpool have had their fair share of injuries also, but they've also had players available for majority of the season that we have not had that same luxury. Liverpool have had Mo Salah available the entire season, Gakpo available the entire season, Luis Diaz available the entire season. If I'm not mistaken, McAllister has not missed a game. Ryan Gravenberch has not missed a game. Andy Robertson has not missed a game. Virgil van Dijk has not missed a game. These are all the players that have not missed a single game for Liverpool. Arsenal have one player who has not missed a single game this season. And if you think I'm lying, I'll show you the facts. I'll show you the facts. Look at this. Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk, not missed a game, played every single game. Robertson, not missed a game, either on the bench or started every single game. Ryan Gravenberch, played every single game. McAllister was supposed to miss a game due to a red card, but didn't. Played every game in the league. You have Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, all played every single game. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players from Liverpool's first team that are starters. 7 starters have not missed a single game this season. When I say injuries is a factor, people tell me I'm crazy. People tell me I'm deluded. It is a major factor that people start ignoring. You need to stop ignoring that. You need to genuinely stop ignoring that because it's a major factor. It's a major factor. And I don't think people speak about it enough. But yeah, fair enough. Let's go on to the next topic before we go any further. Please do hit that like button. We have 100 people in the chat right now. Shout out to all of you guys. Please do hit that like button right now. It helps out the channel massively. So do me that favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button while you guys are here also. And let's get into some of the news around Arsenal. There's 2 more things that I need to speak about before we do the reviews on the videos that Lee Gunner and Arsa and myself did on Dan Potts' channel, the 12th Man podcast. Thomas Tuchel and his staff are closely monitoring Miles Lewis-Skelly's development and view him as a player that they could be bringing into the England setup. So that is very interesting. Miles Lewis-Skelly is getting fast-tracked into the England team already, and it just goes to show you how much of a quality player he is at this moment in time. What a baller he is at this moment in time. Now, let's get into it. Guys, question to the public. Would you take Harry Kane at Arsenal? I'm going to ask you guys, would you take Harry Kane at Arsenal? Let me know, would you take Harry Kane at Arsenal? Because today, there's a rumor flying around, and I don't know how reliable it is. But personally, I don't believe it. Would you take Harry Kane at this moment in time? Because it looks like Arsenal are one of the teams that Harry Kane could end up going to if he were to leave his current setup. That's what they're saying. Now, I don't believe it. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's real. I think if anything's realistic, we're going to probably see a situation where Harry Kane ends up maybe at a Newcastle replacing Isak, or Chelsea. No, he wouldn't even go to Chelsea. Maybe he goes to Man United. But Harry Kane is keeping a lid on reports that he could make a shock move to Arsenal next year because of a release clause in his Bayern Munich contract. Now, Harry Kane, at this moment in time, if I'm not mistaken, he's 31. How old is he? 31, if I'm not mistaken. 31 years old, Harry Kane? Yeah, he's 31 years old. 1990. He's actually 2 years younger than me. He's 31 years old. He's gonna turn 32 in July, and he could be making a move back to the Premier League. This season, he's gotten 21 goals and 6 assists in the league in 19 games. He's still an outstanding striker, an amazing striker, and probably one of the best strikers to ever play in the Premier League. But he has that stink, that smell of a loser. He just doesn't win trophies. He might win it this year with Bayern. Now, don't get me wrong. He probably will win it this year with Bayern Munich, but that's besides the point. Is he the game changer? Is he the difference maker? Is he the guy who gets the team to win these honors? It hasn't been throughout his entirety of his career. Can a one league title with Bayern Munich change his legacy and turn him into a winner going forward, and he can continue to win trophies and maybe come back to the Premier League and win a Premier League with a team? Maybe. But would Arsenal now go and sign a 31-year-old Harry Kane, spend all the money it would take to go and get a 31-year-old Harry Kane? Or would you rather go and spend that money on Alexander Isak? Because at this moment in time, if you were to pick one, who's better? I'm saying Harry Kane has been the better player his entirety of his career. But right now, I think it's very close. And what edges it for me would be Isak's age, no stench of that loser mentality thing where Harry Kane has been doing it for his entirety of his career. Isak is now on the come up. He's going to be available for years to come. So just right now, Harry Kane's probably better, but Isak is the better investment. So why would Arsenal go and spend them, what is it, 80, 70, 100, however much it would cost to get Harry Kane when you can go and get Isak? Now, realistically, both of them are going to be very difficult for Arsenal to even get close to signing. But I just don't believe that Harry Kane would ever ruin his legacy at Tottenham as their biggest club legend in a long time. And also, why would he join Arsenal? This is bullshit. It has to be, because there's no way Harry Kane would ever entertain a move to Arsenal, and Arsenal would probably entertain a move for Harry Kane, but they would not prioritize Harry Kane over anybody else. That's just me. But yeah, I heard about him being linked to Liverpool. Who, Isak or Harry Kane? Because if Harry Kane joined Liverpool right now with Mo Salah, oh my God, that would be insane. If Liverpool revamped their attack before Arsenal's, we have ourselves a massive problem. Yeah, I did hear about Isak to Liverpool also. I did hear about Liverpool potentially going for Isak. I heard about Liverpool looking to move off a bunch of their players and do some stuff. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen there. It's going to be a very, very interesting conversation going forward. Let's see where it goes, how it develops. But at this moment in time, I just don't think Harry Kane is the right answer for Arsenal. He's a quality player, probably one of the best players out there. But is he the answer? I don't think he's the answer, genuinely. I don't think he's the answer, and I don't think he will ever be a player at Arsenal. I just don't think Arsenal would ever entertain actually bringing in Harry Kane. Maybe it would benefit us, but I just don't think it would happen. Now, the next video I want to show you guys is on the 12th Man podcast. Shout out Dan Potts. Always brings me on his channel. Big up to him. And I always seem to be on a panel where it's a bunch of Arteta outers versus myself. And then the chat are always killing me, saying that guy Egal is the Arteta fanboy. Egal proves time and time again that he's an Arteta fan and doesn't give a fuck about anything. And Egal is just annoying. Egal, smug face, never gets any easier to look at. Like, these people are just going for me 24/7 in the chat, and it's just, is it that serious? Like, this, listen to what I had to say. Like, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about you can't tell me how to support my club. No, it wasn't even about that. It was just, listen to this. We failed in this window. We have not done what we needed to do to improve the team. And everybody knows that. The manager knows that. The club knows that. The board knows that. But their reasoning and rationale behind it, which is they did not want to spend in the short term to potentially risk negatively impacting the summer window. We can all agree that Ollie Watkins would have benefited us in the short term and potentially in the long term too. So I think they messed up and they got offered a really good deal. They then tried to be slick and say, let's get him for 40 million. And then Villa said fuck off, and they went and sold their next player to Saudi. And we look like idiots going back last minute trying to get him for 60 million when they've already sold the other player for more than 60 million. So let me save you guys all that stuff. This is where I say what I really wanted to. Next window with Jason Ed, who have no idea, is a football fan, club's previous experience, to say, for God's sakes, the guy best out of the negotiation. Mikel Arteta is the only person at this club that I trust. That's what I wanted to get to. Mikel Arteta is the only person at the club that I currently trust. Reason why I say that, Eto just joined, just started being more in the frame since Edu left. Richard Garlick, his role is not to get the players to perform on the pitch. He's just to literally get the contract signed, and he's not really doing that to his best of his abilities either. And behind him, the Cronkies and the ownership and everybody else, there's always been questions around those guys. Now, I don't think the Cronkies are relatively the worst, because I do think they are giving the club money. It's just the people running the club, the Richard Garlicks, the Edus, the Etos now, and the Tim Lewises, the board members, are holding the club back from spending the money that we have to a certain degree, because they want to keep their powder dry for the summer. They don't want to overinvest right now. And maybe they don't have the same direction that we do. So that's why when I look at this team and I look at the situation, I'm not Arteta out, because I think Arteta is the thing that's holding this team together and making us as good as we are, where everybody else is yelling and screaming about the manager, not realizing the people behind the scenes are not up to that level to even being getting us to the best of players. They don't have the pull to go into an office with friggin' Newcastle right now and be like, we're getting this player no matter what. We're not leaving this meeting without getting the signing. They're just going to negotiate for months on end over something that we already know we could have gotten done if we just went and paid the money. But hey, this is where Lee comes back and he gets upset because Dan asked me a question. I personally think if it are performing to a board to
catching up with what you're saying, and obviously I wanted you to be interrupted, but I've got to ask this. Do you feel sorry for Mikel Arteta this window then? Because it sounds like you said he's the only person you trust at the club now, and you feel like everyone else around him has let him down. So do you feel sorry for Arteta this window?
Let me ask everyone in the comment section, do you feel sorry for Arteta? Do you feel sorry for Arteta? Chat, let me know. Do you feel sorry for Arteta? Let me know. Egal, you're a clown. You will never make it on YouTube because you're simply a liar. All right, bro. You don't have to watch my content if you don't like me. You don't have to watch my content if you don't like me. You don't have to watch my content if you don't like me, and you can have yourself a wonderful day. Next, Terrace Egal is wind up. He is typical Egal. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? People saying no. Other managers only had. No other manager had two since Wenger. What is he talking about? All right. So some of you guys are saying no. You don't feel sorry for Arteta. Now, okay. Let's continue. Yes, I do. I do. Why are you laughing?
Are you actually for real? I listened to what you said. I had it on my phone when I went bathroom. Yeah,
bro. Beyond Arteta, there's an asterisk on every single person at the board level.
Well, so
that is true. Arsenal's. If you look at Arsenal's board right now. If you look at Arsenal's board members, Who are Arsenal's board members at this moment in time? Who are Arsenal's board members? Who are the people who are the people who are getting stuff done at Arsenal at this moment in time? And what do they what do they do? What do they do? Right? That is a legitimate question, right? So first we go to the board. Obviously, you have the owner, you have the director in Josh, and then you have Tim Lewis. What is Tim Lewis's work experience, and what makes him good enough to be able to do the role that he does? What is it? What makes Tim Lewis? What gives Tim Lewis executive vice chair when he's a lawyer? He don't have no experience in football. He doesn't have no experience as an executive. What justifies him getting that position? What justifies it? Because that is a serious question. Tim Lewis became executive chairman, and we still don't know what he does. We still don't know what his history, what he used to do. All we know is he used to be a lawyer, and now he's coming in here as being executive chair. Now, I'm not going to make fun of this guy because I don't even know who he is either. But when it comes to now, you got Richard Garlick. Richard Garlick. This guy, Richard Garlick, where did he come from originally when he was appointed? Where did he originally work? What's his previous experience? West Bromwich Albion, where he was appointed to the board at West Bromwich Albion in 2010. This is a guy who previously worked at West Bromwich Albion. Is that enough experience to justify him being at Arsenal? Is that enough experience to justify him? In that time, West Bromwich Albion were a consistent Premier League outfit, and they've now been relegated to nothing more than a championship team. If I'm not mistaken, he was overseeing the team in that time period. Am I wrong? So what are we saying here? Like, why do we have these inexperienced people running behind the scenes, but everyone's just saying, get rid of the players, get rid of the manager. Stop it. Now, next, let's continue with this video. Where is it? Where's the video? Here it is.
So because Edu's left, everyone's got an asterisk there, because you weren't saying this before.
I was saying this before. I was questioning the board. I was questioning the people running the club before Edu left. And I was one of the people who also criticized Edu and said Edu's the problem before Arteta any day of the week.
When they were signing Rice.
To be fair, I was
in 29.
Dan,
you weren't saying
Dan, did I not say I don't trust the people? I don't trust the people above.
Cool. Did you buy a shirt in the last 5 years?
What does that have to do with?
Have you been to games in the last 5 years? Because if you don't trust the people that are running the hierarchy, yeah, you're part of the problem because you're buying the shirts. You're buying the merch. You're going to the games. You're doing this. You're doing that. If you don't trust the people that are running up.
Oh shit! I hate when this happens. All right, let's mute the ad, and then we'll come back to it. Let's come back to it. Personal money also. We can.
No,
both
I paid his own Espana for every Premier League game, mate.
Oh, listen to that.
But doing that. If you don't trust the people that are running our football club, why are you giving them money?
Okay, this is a nonsensical argument because whether you're paying for a ticket or you're paying for a shirt or you're paying for the actual game to watch it on TV, the money's still going back to the club. Whatever level of investment you give physically by watching it, talking about it, paying for it to go to a game, you're still giving the club money. Now, Lee, you might not be giving the money as much money as a match-going fan who's going every single week, but you're 1 second, Lee. Do you watch all your games illegally? Because you're giving Arsenal money also. We can.
No,
both
I paid DAZN Espana for every.
So DAZN Espana pay Arsenal based on the negotiation agreement with Spanish television. So Arsenal's still getting paid regardless. Now, let's continue.
Premier League game, mate.
Yeah, but that's still going back to Arsenal.
I don't give a shit. I ain't giving them my money directly. I'm giving it to.
Whether you're giving your money directly or you're giving your money to somebody else who's giving it to them, you're still paying towards something to benefit the club. So your argument about why are we still paying money to go to games and paying for shirts is void, because you're still paying to watch the games.
The zone, and I get Italian
Okay,
football,
so I'm not
Spanish
giving them
football.
their money directly. I'm giving it to friggin'
Well, you're not.
what do
You're
you
going
call
to,
it? The
if you've
shirt.
not been to a game in the last 5 years, come on, Egal.
Yeah, of course I've been to the games, but Lee, you're making it seem like I am a problem because I am actually taking time out of my hard-earned money to enjoy myself and support my team. You were
So
doing
you
it in
enjoy
a
not
different
winning?
way. You were doing it a different way. Just because you're over in Spain and you're watching it on the TV, you're still paying money that's going back to the Premier League.
How much do you reckon?
Yeah, so that was a nonsensical argument. Had nothing to do with the main point. Let's try to get back on the main point.
Ato, nobody even knew that guy worked at our club until when he'd done one. Right? Come on, Egal. Yeah, these are the same people that you don't rate, but they gave your manager, that you do rate, the pay rise that's going to keep him here for a while.
Yes, the reason why I might not rate the people running the club, but I think it's a good decision to give Arteta a new contract because, one, look at where he has gotten us with the likes of Eddie Nketiah, Martinelli, Saka, Jesus as our strikers. He got us challenging with those attacking players. You give this guy proper attacking players, the moon's the limit. We currently went from a team that was challenging for just trying to get back into the Champions League to now competing for the league. And in that time period, it's like everyone's just so angry that we don't get the final product. It's, oh, we didn't win, so everything's on the manager. We didn't win, everything's on Arteta. Well, if it wasn't for goddamn Arteta, we wouldn't even be in a position to be challenging in the first place. And it almost comes off as if you guys don't give a shit about how we got here. You just want to get to that final stage. But in that process, I feel like you're shooting yourselves in the foot, because I think sacking Arteta at this moment in time would negatively impact Arsenal because Arsenal have been massively improving under Mikel Arteta, and the level that we've gotten to, I think the team is still not as good to say, oh, we should guarantee a league title. And also, if it wasn't for some issues, I think we would have won the league this year. I think if it wasn't for injuries and some of the other things, I think we would have won. It's just, unfortunately, there's been other circumstances that have led to us being, 6 points behind. And even that right now, to be 6 points behind with the level of injuries and issues we've had, I think it's quite impressive. And you guys are going to say it's a loser mentality, say whatever you want. But the reality situation is 6 points behind with two of your best players missing 7 to 8 league games each, plus only having one player fit for majority of the season is ridiculous. And I just don't think that is spoken about enough. I think everyone's just waiting for Arsenal to drop points or to lose a game so they can rant and rave about how Arsenal is shit and how Arteta is shit and how all the players are shit. And I just refuse to do that. And if you look at the chat is just all about me. Egal is making a point without making any points. Definition of a fanboy, Arteta poser on his ceiling. What? Then you got another one here saying, Lee asked Egal why you go to games when all his pals in the panel go to every game and never questions them. That is a good point. Riddle 1596 makes a really good point. Egal defends the indefensible and won't trust Arteta with a dog win, let alone 850 mil. Why is it that everyone keeps talking about 850 million, but when Chelsea spend $1 billion, nobody really talks about it? Spurs spent more than that and have not won. Manchester United have spent more than that and have not won. But Arsenal are in a challenging position because we've invested in the team properly. You need to spend money in football. This 800 million argument is bullshit. Every week, talking about 800 million. It's bullshit. It's actually bullshit. Keep Arteta. It helps other clubs. Egal's argument seems to be if Arsenal play well, it's down to Arteta. And if we lose, then it's down to the players' fault and nothing to do with Arteta. That is not true. There's times where the manager gets outmanaged, and there's times where it's on the players. For example, the game where we're 2-0 up, cruising. Unai Emery makes a change. Arteta doesn't really make a change, and they get back into the game. They score 2 goals. Now that is on the manager and the players. That is on the manager and the players. The games where we're up and we're in a comfortable position, it's on the managers. The game where, for example, the Inter Milan game, you can't blame that on the manager. It's 0-0. We had chances. They get given a penalty. We lose the game. Unfortunate. But not every game is on the manager. Sometimes you got to look at the players. Player gives away a penalty in a 0-0 game. You lose by 1 goal. How is that on the manager? The players create 4xG, and like Manchester United and Newcastle, and they don't finish their dinner. How is that on Arteta when the players are getting gilt edged chances and they're not making them? Here's another one. Egal is the type of bloke who puts his picture frame with Arteta and has it under his pillow. These people are just weirdos, mate. Literally weirdos. Literally weirdos. Just look up toxic positivity. That's you, Egal. What did I say that's toxic? I'm literally giving you my opinion. You disagree. Fair play. No need for all this bullshit. What a liar. He illegally streams the games. Maybe he doesn't give Arsenal any money. Fair play. Lee's right. Egal can sit there and moan about the hierarchy in the club and carry the buying merch and lapping everything up for the club and does each year like a good little sheep. What? Hopefully someone in here says, but why doesn't Lee have the same energy for the other panelists? All regularly go to games, ticket holders, and aren't being good sheep too. That is very true. So I'm a good sheep, but then the negative fans who go to all the games, are they sheep also? Because that is a very, very good point. Egal swerves questions. God, he's insufferable. People just don't like me. If people don't like me, fair play. People don't like me, fair play. Egal speaks facts. He's right. It's Arteta that's keeping us competitive. Arteta's keeping us competitive because the ownership and the board have made numerous errors, and he's somehow been able to manage it. He even asked for a striker this past window. He asked for a striker this past window, and they still didn't give it to him. He asked for a striker. He asked for a striker this past window, and they didn't give it to him. It's nuts. Actually nuts. The amount of people who just constantly going, yeah, forget everything we hear. You're the problem because I don't agree with your opinion. That is not the right approach in life. You can't just say, just because you disagree with somebody's opinion, you can't just say, oh, yeah, you're the problem. You're the problem in the world. You're the issue. I don't agree with your opinion, so you're the problem. You're the biggest issue, and you're a fake fan. You're this, you're that. It's a ridiculous take. It's a ridiculous take. Ridiculous. It's nuts. But yeah, let's go to the next thing. This is another video. Right? Arteta can't handle the pressure, says Lee Gunner. Now,
off of new evidence, yeah, you're now saying we're not. Right? At the start of the season, you said we're better than Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. So now going off of new evidence. No, hold up. Going off of new evidence, yeah, you're now saying we're not.
No, I'm saying Mo Salah is the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal this season. Plus, also they've had some fortunate availability compared to some of our players.
Okay, fantastic. Perfect. That's it. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. So Mo Salah, somebody that can bag goals for fun. Yeah.
Well, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Is that Lee Gunner bigging up Mo Salah? No way. Lee Gunner bigging up Mo Salah. I can't believe it. Is this the same Lee Gunner who said Mo Salah is not better than Danny Welbeck? No way. I can't believe my eyes. This is not it, is it? This can't be it. I swear he said he's not better than Welbeck. Do you guys remember that? No? Or am I tripping? Because I'm admitting Mo Salah is the difference, but Lee is the same guy, and I get along with Lee. I don't have too much issues with Lee like other people do. We have a difference of opinion, and we can disagree a lot, but he's the same guy who said this.
Footballer than Mohamed Salah. But is a better all-round footballer. But is a better all-round footballer than Mohamed Salah. That ain't even debatable, mate. Mohamed Salah will always win the polls. He would always win the polls. He would always win the favourable, like in the comment section and blah blah blah, because of the output that he has and the trophies that they've won, which I accept. I get it. That's cool. But overall, with technical ability, dribbling, first touch, yeah. Well, Danny Welbeck's better on all. Danny Welbeck's overall footballer. Yeah, he is.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That video clip never gets old. That video clip never gets old. And those are the same. So all you people who are saying, oh, what phase is slot in and all that stuff every time Lee and you're lapping it up. Remember that.
Somebody that can get assists for fun. Yeah. So on that premise, then we needed a striker or a forward.
Is Mo Salah a striker?
More
Lee?
so than ever.
Is Mo Salah a striker, Lee?
No.
So what are you talking about, bro?
So that's what I just said. We needed a striker or a forward. Yeah. You keep mentioning Nico Williams the same as everyone else. So let me tell you.
So the recruitment and the transfers are the issue, but Arteta has this team 6 points off the top of the league, and you want him sacked because of poor recruitment. So you want the manager sacked who's keeping this team competing to a high level in this challenging position where you guys are saying the squad is not good enough. We needed this and that. He's admitted we need this and that. He's asked for this and that. They've not delivered on this or that, which is a winger or a striker. He came out and said he's disappointed in the window. What they want is they want Arteta to quit or because he didn't get what he wants. They want the manager to resign, or they want the club to sack the manager and be him to be the fall guy. Arteta at this point is becoming a scapegoat, and he's becoming the person that people rant and rave and angry about every single result that goes wrong, when in actual reality, we don't have a striker of note. We don't have a proper left winger. We've had Bukayo Saka injured. We've had Kai Havertz missing sitter after sitter in games back to back. We've had an 18-year-old playing left back. We've had an 18-year-old playing as right wing. We've had so many things this season and faced all this adversity, and we're still churning out results, constantly churning out results. And they're saying Arteta should be sacked because the club and the board did not sanction a move for a striker. Arteta never said he did not want a striker. And that is a fact. He even came out in an interview recently and said, what are you talking about? When somebody said to him, you're not interested in a striker. And if you guys don't remember that, let me remind you guys. Arteta came out and said this when asked, you clearly don't share that sentiment. And the sentiment that they were talking about was that you don't think it is essential to sign a forward. And he's like, and Arteta made that face, like, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? The same sentiment that you have forward this month, right? He said, have I ever said no to a striker? Has Arteta ever said no to a striker? No, he's never said that. So, but do you feel it's not necessary? Do you? And he's like, do you? How do you? He asked him, how do you say that? Do you feel it is necessary? He said, I don't understand the question. Because the people are basically putting words in Arteta's mouth as if he said, we don't need a striker. There's a difference between saying he believes in Havertz and Jesus in the short term to saying we need something. Now, if you think he's going to come out here and bash his own players to make them lose more confidence and to destroy his own players in order to get a player into the door, that's just not who he is as a manager. But the board, the people behind the scenes, it's on them for not signing what he needs. And you yourself are acknowledging that. But yet, you want to blame the manager. Once again, you want to blame the manager for something that is not fully in his control.
Right now, I'll tell you this for free, yeah? Nico Williams has never come into the Premier League, mate. Ever.
How do you know that?
So you can link him to us as many times as you want, all you journalists, all you TMZ YouTube channels, all your Twitter accounts, ITKs, yeah, the dinner lady, the dog, yeah, everyone. You can all...
1 second. Lee, you cannot say with conviction that unless you have inside information about where Nico Williams is going to end up next in his career, that 100% somebody is never going to come to the Premier League, because there's so much money in the Premier League. There's so many good teams. Nico Williams would be making a step up, going from Atletico Bilbao to Arsenal to a Chelsea to a Liverpool. And it's just out of the realm of possibility for you to sit there and 100% adamantly say that a player is not going to ever join the Premier League or join Arsenal.
Link us to Nico Williams. He is never leaving La Liga, bruv. He's going Barca or Real Madrid, and I'd imagine Barca, right? But it sounds good, and he's shit anyway. I don't want him.
So why do you care if he's never going to join a Premier League team? If he's shit anyway and you don't want him, why don't you start with that?
Yeah. However, my point is, if there's a guy that's bagging 40, 50 GA a season, which is what Ollie Watkins got last season, 40 GA, by the way, yeah, then now comes when we needed a striker for the last God knows how many years anyway to get over the line against Man City. You've said that we were better than Liverpool before the season started, but now new evidence presented, now a January window presented, and we don't bother to go and get a forward. Well, sorry, mate. What are we doing here? That's on the manager, that's on the hierarchy, that's on the ownership.
Lee, to start the season, you would have said Man City were better than us. We're clearly
Man City are better than us still to this day, mate. They
Man City are better than us still to this day. What? Did we not just beat them 5-0? 5-1?
proved that in this window.
And we're way better than so they proved that they're better than us because they signed a bunch of players in the transfer window, played those players against us, still lost. You do realize Liverpool are currently top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League with no signings.
Only serious club in the Premier League, mate, and they've proven it again this window.
No, but fair play, fair play. If you want to say Man City are one of the most serious clubs in the league, that is true. I agree.
Bro, I'm going to shut
this is where your argument falls apart.
They don't. They've won 4 in a row, mate. They're the best team in the league.
Yeah, and they're still shit, and we slapped them this season.
Yeah, well done. Guess what? We lost to Aston Villa when it mattered. Yeah, all this top 6.
This is what Lee does. Anytime he loses an argument or he realizes that he said something that would be like a moment where he'll have to reflect and say, you know what, you're right. He just goes straight on to the next topic and filibusters about something that's completely off topic. And it just makes a conversation that could be 5-10 minutes turn into 17 minutes about one topic where you've touched so many different areas. It's like a Venn diagram where it just keeps going and going. No, it's like one of those diagram charts where it just keeps growing and growing. So you mention Liverpool, you mention Mo Salah, you then mention Danny Welbeck, you mention the owners, then you mention signings, then you mention Ollie Watkins, then you go and mention Arteta again, and it just keeps going down and down and down the pecking order until he gets back to what he wants to talk about. It's a madness.
So we got an unbeaten record against top 6 for goal. Yeah, you don't apply pressure to football matches. No, you don't. Yeah, Declan Rice, I see a stat earlier. Declan Rice has not lost a top 6 game since he's been at Arsenal. Yeah, a big 6 games since he's been at Arsenal. Cool. When it fucking mattered against Aston Villa and Bayern Munich, where was he?
Declan Rice was the reason why we lost Aston Villa and Bayern Munich.
Hold on. Well, he weren't watching Goretzka and he let him run off the back of him, mate. Yeah. And not only that, right? This is where, and I'll let Matty go after this and I'll shut up fucking God knows how long, right? My point is here, yeah? Playing Man City on the 3rd or 4th game of the season last season, yeah, is a totally different ball game to playing Aston Villa 4 or 5 games from the end of the season. Yeah. That is a bigger game than playing Man City at home. Why? Pressure. Yeah. And when people want to talk and waffle about top 6, big 6, all of this crap, yeah. Nobody cares. If you lose to Man City or drop points against Man City at home, you got 30-odd games to catch up. You drop points against Aston Villa when it matters, you're finished. And what happened? We drop points because people don't apply pressure into these games.
Honestly, I have a headache. What are you talking about? Let's hear that again.
Pressure into these games. Southampton, pressure, 3-3. Yeah. West Ham, 2-0 up, 2-2, pressure. But we beat Liverpool at home that season. Yeah.
Beating Chelsea, what was it, 5-0 wasn't pressure? Beating Spurs at their ground, 3-2 wasn't pressure? Winning versus West Ham after that poor run wasn't pressure? You can't just say all the defeats are pressure games and then ignore all the victories leading up to it. It's a 38-game season, and you pick out all the negative results and say, look, that shows our mentality. But all the wins, all the games where we fought back to win, all the results that went our way, it's just supposed to be. It comes from a sense of entitlement almost, as if we're entitled to win every year, and if we don't win, it's outrage. I don't know. To me, it sounds wrong. But then, once again, the chat are going at me. Again, Lee and Egal arguing, yeah, true. Egal's Thai, same old bullshit. Egal's a clown, bozo, same old bullshit. We keep hearing in the chat. Lee's talking facts, League's talking facts. What else is there? Egal's poor. Poor Egal telling us next what was grown up. What? I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What else is there? The chat's just literally just all picking up Lee and saying I'm wrong. So maybe if all these people are saying I'm wrong, there must be something behind it. But then nobody's actually giving a reason why. It just seems like majority of these are either jokes or personal attacks. But yeah. Yeah, you see? Not one sensible comment to come back and say why I'm wrong or what they think. And this is what I have to deal with. On a regular basis, I'm dealing with people who don't want to speak about what I'm actually saying, and they've already made up their mind about me, or they've made up their mind about the argument that they're trying to have, and they don't actually bring in tangible evidence, an actual statement that brings something to the conversation, rather than their feelings, emotions, and how they go and they shout and yell and they tell you how they're feeling. Sometimes I don't even feel like going on panel shows anymore because it just feels like this is what it is. This is what panel shows have become. We don't really have conversations about Arsenal's games. We just keep having conversations about Arteta. Saliba leaving. Saka is injured and it's Arteta's fault. We didn't sign a striker, it's Arteta's fault. Martinelli gets injured, it's Arteta's fault. It's getting boring, bro. It's getting boring. Honestly, it's getting boring. You know what I mean? But yeah. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Yeah, people are always trying to get me to change my mind on Arteta. Don't let anyone decide for you. Yeah, you know what I mean? People always trying to change your mind and trying to tell you how you should feel about your team. It's a madness. Also, I'm not going to let Liverpool's success make me feel any worse about my team. It is what it is. If Liverpool go on to win, fair. If we end up somehow pulling it out, amazing. But I'm not going to sit here and go crazy. And people say I'm toxic positivity, or I'm the one that's a madness. Fair enough. You guys don't like me, you don't like me. If you guys don't agree with my opinion, you don't have to agree with my opinion. There's a lot of times where here I'm giving my opinion. There's a lot of times here where I'm just speaking about news. But yeah, that's it pretty much. Nothing more really to be said. Let me know what you guys think about this. Harry Kane, definitely no for me. Isaac, definitely a yes for me. But will we get either of them? Probably not. Probably not. Egal, bro, fair play. You stick up to your opinions. That's all. I think you have the right to have your opinion and support your club how you best. Most importantly, Lee has his views and you do too. Yeah, and I don't have an issue with Lee. Lee can have his opinions. I can have my opinions. No problem with that. It's just, I just feel like we're constantly going back in the same circle, and it negatively impacts the team when after every result, there's people waiting to just be yelling and screaming. It doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not saying Lee does that, but some people do, and I think that's kind of mad. But yeah, no matter what, Egal, deliver or time to go. Do you agree? I don't think Arteta's going to deliver this season, and if he doesn't, I don't think it's time for him to go. I think Arteta still has a lot of scope for this team to grow, and I think we're better off with Mikel Arteta than we are without him. That's my opinion. Let Liverpool do their thing at the end of the journey. Arsenal is at the beginning. Yeah. Let Liverpool do their thing. I think you're right. They might be near the end of their and we're at the thing. But yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up here. You guys go check out Mon's channel. He's gonna be live for a watch along. And I'm gonna head out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm out of here, people. People saying you're a happy clapper. Fuck off. What are we doing here?